Well, hi team. It's 2020, New Year's Day. It looks like a pretty good day. The wind's down, tide's good. So, and there's a few reports around of workups. So we're going to head out past Turi and have a look around and see if we can catch yourself some nice fish to start the year on. So we'll keep you in touch along the way. Well, I've gone out and we're out off here quite a few k's off Turi. You can possibly see it in the background there. And there's a few boats around here. There's a lot of people out today. I thought there might have been a few people staying home with the family being New Year's Day, but there you go. They're in their boats. So there's no workups anywhere at this stage. Just doing a long drift. There's a few boats around, so I do a drift here and we're waiting for things to happen maybe later on in the afternoon. So we'll just see how we go, but I think I've got a fish on here, so we'll check this out. Yeah, somebody's biting this line, so there's somebody here. I'm just drifting my about 3 lures, different lures along the bottom, and this one it picks something up. I've played it for a bit already, so I'm halfway up. And this one's got the 60-gram knife jig on it, so it's playing like a snapper, but I don't think it's big. There's something. We'll see what it's like. He's leaving a lot of bubbles, so that's good for him. In case he's undersized, let him get his bubbles out. It's going to be close to being. Oh yeah, he looks undersized. Oh, it's fitting. Oopsie! But I had a fish. Oh, a good fish take that line. So I think, given that situation, we'll let this guy go quick as we can and see if our fish is still here. Oh, I don't think he is. No, he's not. Oh, what a shame. Oh well. Wait a bit more. Didn't get onto him straight away. That can happen sometimes. You're busy doing something else and you're not taking care of business. Oh, some sort of little snapper's had a bite here. I've just been on the same drift. I think he's going to be too small too, so I was hoping to get on some bigger fish, but we just seem to be doing the small boys. Yep. Another small snapper. I don't think he's big enough. No, he's just under. Well, I just thought I'd pull this rod in and then there's a fish on it, so I don't know how long he's been sitting there. But they can do that sometimes. They'll just sit there and you don't even know they're there until you start pulling it in. They're wondering what's going on. And this is on the very soft-tipped Ocean Angler slider rod, really. Spender, I think it's called. So it bends a lot, but it's a lot of forgivingness in the tip, which is great for these small hooks. I have a slider on here with an orange curly tail, I think, on the end of it. Try and bring this fish around the side. Not sure how long he's been there and whether I'm not sure what size he is. I'm not familiar with this rod really. I think he's a keeper actually. We've had quite a few small fish. I've had quite a few small fish and I'm trying to get one for the dinner plate. I'm hoping that this one is going to be it. I think he is. I think he's going to be, oh, only just. Managed to pick up another fish. Sometimes you just pick up the rod to pull it in and they're either waiting there and they suddenly pounce on it. Or they've bitten it and they're not quite sure and you've missed the bite because you're doing other things. So you've got to keep checking your rods a little bit, even if there doesn't seem to be anything going on. Even when you've got lures on. just give them a bit of a wind and another set down. That can just spark a bite, or it can tell you whether there's actually a fish on it. Just sitting there, not telling you. There is a charter boat upstream which might be contributing to some fish being down here. I'm just drifting out into the Gulf really. So whether we've come across some better fish, I feel as though I'm tangled up here, and I am. Yes, I've got another line, so that's a shame. We'll get that sorted. Yep, picked up another fish with the old bender rod. Once again, I went to pull the line in, thinking of moving on, and either a fish just jumped on it, or it was already on it, not doing anything. And I think this one might be a keeper at last. Been lots of little snapper. He's definitely got a bit more pull. He must be over 30. This bendy rod is definitely good. The way it bends, it's just takes up all that extra pressure when the fish wants to pull. You can just pull away. He's given up now. He's coming up. There he is. Bubbles coming out. Hopefully it comes on board. And that will be a keeper. Only just is a keeper. Well, once again I went to pull this rod in, thinking there's nothing on it, and I believe, oh, there was something on it. There is something on it. Just been sitting there, not doing anything. A little snapper. So we seem to be plagued by little snapper that get on the line and they're not big enough to tell you they're even there. So it's a bit crazy. However, I just stopped in the Tiri Channel and get out of the wind, threw the jig over, a couple of seconds, pow! Quite amazing. Small snapper again though, it's a day of small snapper. Sometimes you get that, they're just small all day long. Have not had decent fish. I got one keeper, but that's all. So we'll try that again, see what happens. We're just lowering it over and letting it bounce along the bottom. Straight away, got another one. That is crazy. This is a better fish. Oh, much better fish. Oh, yeah. All those miles, I did out further, sat there for hours, no luck. Really, just little snapper. Come back here, a couple of seconds in the channel. This is definitely a keeper. Best fish I've had all day. So I'll play him easily. I want him to come in. So sometimes getting out of the wind, even though it actually is still windy here, but it's not as bad. You're not getting all the constant waves at you. They are from all different directions because there's a lot of traffic going through here. But it's nowhere near as windy. It's coming from different directions and a bit more pleasant. And if you're catching fish, it's a lot more pleasant. This is a good fish, so hopefully I get this boy in. I'm probably being too easy on him. I've had so many small fish that I haven't had to adjust to a bigger fish, but this is definitely a bigger fish. He could be a 45 or he could be a 50 even. He's digging down a bit at the moment. I'm just gonna, a slight bit more pressure. Oh, he gave up a bit then. You can see colour. It's coming up. It is a snapper. Hey, he's not a big fish, but he's a good fish. Get my net. He put up quite a good fight, that fish. Oopsie. I've got to get rid of my little one as well. on the weasel again. Back to using that weasel. I tried without it this morning, and today it's definitely, all my other lures weren't very good, but this weasel, every time I stuck it on, I'd be catching fish. Most of the time they were small, but I was catching fish. We'll try that again. We'll just throw it over the side and let it out. Last time I'd even turned around. Very good. Well, that was pretty well the end of the day. From there I just went straight home. It was a pity really. The weather report caught me out. My normal places I go for the weather had said it was going to be really no wind in the middle of the day. Quite glassy. But that last report in the morning off the radio saying getting up to 15 knots southwest in the afternoon, I sort of thought, well, is that going to be true or not? All the rest was saying no, so I thought, no, maybe not. But in actual fact, in the afternoon, that's what happened. It got up to about 15 knots mid-afternoon, and it just got worse and worse during the day. And I'd gone out just west of the tram lines out between Tiri and Kawau because it had been good there the last couple of days, but there was nothing happening there today, and it was the wind just got stronger and stronger, which made it more difficult. So in the end it was just time to get out of there, and so I went back and I went to the 30-metre line in Kawau Tiri line, and there were a few fish around there, but once again just a bit too windy. So it was a real small snapper day. There were no workups anywhere. Like I said, there was no bird life anywhere, so there was nothing to attract bigger fish, just little guys everywhere. So I went back and just stopped on the Tiri Channel going through there to try and get out of a bit of wind, but it was still whistling around there. But yeah, luckily enough I picked up a couple of fish there, so I had about 3 snapper for the table. That's all I needed, so it was okay. But it wasn't the day I thought it was going to be. Even the Maori calendar said it was good fishing. Other parameters were okay for the afternoon, maybe late in the afternoon, 4 to 6 might have been good, but by then it had got too windy. So a couple of people had caught fish in other places, not quite sure where, but I didn't see any of it out there at all. So it's just one of those days where it just didn't go quite right, and not the normal fishing day for me. And I was by myself, which is a little bit trickier, but well, you get those. They often don't show those on programs on TV, or they just skip to the next day when they've had a bad day. But yeah, for me that was sort of not a great day, but I thought I'd show it anyway, so there you go. It's not always great. We'll catch you next time.